ask that you please identify yourselves and the agencies that you are with. That will help both our coach and our student athletes get acclimated to the room. And as Coach steps to the podium, we will get, Coach, your first question to your right in the second row.
Hey, Coach. Corey Christen, DK Pittsburgh Sports. Recently, you made some pretty strong comments about not just the Big Ten, but also your former offensive coordinator. Did you want to elaborate on those a little bit and kind of explain why you felt that way?
Not really. I guess it was a long summer. You know, you hear all these things during the summer about the power twos and all this stuff. And, you know, we'll just start there. And, you know, we play some darn good football in the ACC, and I think people forget about it. I think Dabo made a comment yesterday about, like, everybody talks about, oh, you know, Clemson had a down year, and he's exactly right, and people need to wake up. How about the teams that are getting better? And I think Pittsburgh is getting better, so we'll start there. And again, anytime you get a Big Ten, you know, I've coached in the Big Ten for 8 years, so I know it. I don't know the SEC, so I'm not going to claim. I've never coached in the SEC, but I do know the Big Ten. And I feel very confident. And again, that's not, you know, being arrogant. It's just kind of knowing the landscape and knowing what we played against in the Peach Bowl. Just would have liked to had, you know, at least our backup quarterback to play the whole game. And again, that's just confidence, and that's no disrespect to the Big Ten or Michigan State. It's just it's about Pitt and about the ACC. And again, that's all I can tell you. I think, you know, ACC football is really, really good, and that's really the comment there that I was trying to get across.
Coach, follow the center aisle to the fourth row to your left.
Hey, Coach. Matt Bonaparte, Locked On Syracuse. What are your thoughts on the 3-5-5 scheduling coming to the ACC quite soon and playing Syracuse, Boston College, and Virginia Tech every season?
I love the three teams we get to play, obviously regional. You know, again, you know, as coaches, we really don't make those decisions. They get made above us, and I'm still a proponent of the two divisions. I love the two divisions. I think Pittsburgh has come to where we are today and winning the ACC championship a year ago, but it was developed from our 2018 Coastal Division championship. I think there's got to be a starting point, and for me, it's okay because we've built something good in the last 7 years, and it's just going to continue to go. But you know, I feel bad that, you know, some of the other teams maybe haven't been in that championship game, haven't been Coastal Division champions, that they're not going to have a chance here in the future if that stays true, because I really think that helped build us. You know, when I was at Michigan State, you know, we got beat by Wisconsin in the championship. We were, you know, division champions, got to the ACC championship, lost that game. That fueled us to come back and be the number one team in the country in Ohio State and play in the Rose Bowl. To me, that was all fuel. I mean, to me, you take little steps as you go, and I think it's a big deal to be a division champion. I think just like AFC and NFC championships, those are big games. There's celebrations after that game. And I think it's the same thing with the Coastal and Atlantic. So, again, You give them to us, we'll play whoever you tell us to play, we'll play. We'll play one division, we'll play 12 divisions. I don't care what we play, but I truly believe there was some merit to keeping the divisions.
Coach, we're going to stay on the left side for quite a bit, about midway back. Left side, midway left. There we go. She's standing. There we go.
Mayor Dungemont with the Clemson Insider. Do you believe that NIL has tampered with the loyalty and fairness at the collegiate level for players?
I'm sorry, one more time.
Do you believe that NIL has tampered with the loyalty and fairness for players at the collegiate level?
I do. You know, I love the opportunity for our players, when you talk name, image, and likeness, to make money. I mean, I want our players to make as much money. And we talk a lot about branding. And I told our guys, you know, on our trip down yesterday, this is a big and a great opportunity to brand yourself. Who are you as a person? You know, what do you stand for? Those types of things. So I think the initial name, image, and likeness was to sell your brand, sell your jersey, to watch number 5 or number 7 walk around, number 77 walk around with their jerseys and sell their jerseys. And the more jerseys you sell, the more money you make. I think that was where it initially stood with name, image, and likeness. And you guys have heard the story. This is old news, but now it's become more of a pay for play. And obviously you can't like where that's going. But I think the NCAA, somebody will get a hold of it and try to put some constraints and some borders on the whole thing.
Still on the left, second row. Please stand. Thank you.
Hey, Pat, Steve Reed from the Associated Press. Now that you guys have kind of reached that mountaintop, won the ACC, what is the biggest challenge in staying there, and also how do you replace Kenny at quarterback?
Yeah, I'll start with the end there. Replacing Kenny's never an easy. Kenny Pickett was an outstanding football player. He was a leader of our football team, and not only will we miss the leadership he shows on the field, but we'll miss obviously the competitiveness he brought to the game every Saturday. So Kenny will be hard to replace. We've got two young men that are fighting for that position right now. Nick Patty, who played in the bowl game, at least the first two series of the bowl game until he was injured, and Keaton Slovis, a transfer from the University of Southern California. So those two guys are battling out. They both had great springs. I think we can win a lot of games with both of them, and I think that we'll have a very, very competitive August camp with them. In the beginning of that question, I forgot it already, was okay. And how do you stay where we are? And again, that's always a challenge. But I'd rather have that challenge than be sitting at the bottom trying to get my way up the ladder. But it's never easy, I think. But the attitude of our kids, the discipline, the passion they have, and I think the desire they have to be champions again. I mean, you did it once. That was a long time ago. I mean, it seems like forever ago. I think our kids are going to work one day at a time. This is 2022. It's a whole new season. We got a new football team, and I think our kids are going to, work at that. And I think it starts with the head coach. I think it starts with me. If I'm happy and complacent with where we are, then that's fine. But I don't think that'll be happening with me. I think they'll feel that in August. I think they felt it in spring ball. We haven't done anything yet. We'd like to win a national championship. We want to be in the playoffs. We're one game probably last year away from being that. In that talk, at least in the 14 talk. If you go to a 12-team playoff, we're in it. So that's where we want to be. We're not happy with where we were last year, and we'd like to win every football game.
Still on your left, third row.
Bob Holliday, WRL.com coach. The ACC champion team of last year was dynamic offensively, led the league in total offense, led the league in scoring offense. That team, of course, featured not only Kenny Pickett, but Jordan Addison, Shockey Jacques-Louis, and your tight end was, not to forget him,
Gavin.
Lucas Krull. Anyway, how do you see the personality of this year's offensive team? You return a lot of big linemen, of course, of Anaconda in the backfield.
Yeah, we've got linemen returning. We had 4 kids that could have taken off. I mean, Carter Warren, one of them here with us today that turned down going to the Senior Bowl, playing in Mobile, and the Combine in Indianapolis to come back and play at Pitt. So our offensive line's back. Our running backs are all back. We've got some great weapons at the receiver position. Started with Jared Wayne, Kanate Mumfield, Jaden Bradley. I'm going to miss somebody without having a list in front of me, but I feel great with the weapons we have out there. A kid named Bub Means, a kid that had transferred in the summer as well. So Jaden Barden as well. So we've got some outstanding receivers. So we're going to get the ball in the guys' hands that deserve it, and that's what we'll find out in August. Who are our playmakers? Who can we trust? Who can we hand it off to? Who can we throw it to? Who's going to be throwing that pass? But I can tell you this: we didn't. I'll say this again. In 2020, I thought we had an outstanding football team, a championship caliber football team. With all the COVID things that happened, we never got to get where we need to be. And people say, "Hey, what was the difference between 20 and 21 with Kenny Pickett?" Well, you really couldn't tell because 20 was kind of just a crazy year when we're all rolling around with masks on and getting COVIDed out and all that. So that whole year, I think we've built a program in Pittsburgh. Okay, it's not just a one-year splash. Kenny did it all and nobody else did anything. I think we got a great football game. Again, Kenny Pickett, the first quarterback taking a draft, was outstanding. Okay, but I think we got other good football players as well. We've done a great job of recruiting, character guys, athletic guys, and guys that can play football. And I'll take these guys anywhere. These 3 here, plus the rest of the gang back in Pittsburgh that we have. So. We have recruited for the long haul, not just for one season. It wasn't a splash. That's the expectations, and I think we got a good football team returning.
We're going to work really hard to see if we can get 2 questions in 4.5 minutes. Front row to your left. Then I'll get the guy in the back.
Okay.
Coach Dan Tortora, wakeupcalldt.com. You speak on wanting to win a national championship, and Tony Dorsett, Al Romano, and the gang did that at Pitt years ago. when you look at recruiting and everything you kind of just mentioned, just what you can say about Pitt's history and what you build upon back then and have that bridge to the NFL, to the gentlemen that are sitting here with you right now that just came off of winning an ACC championship.
Yeah, I mean, I think history is a great predictor. We've won 9 national championships in Pittsburgh, and you talk about Tony Dorsett and, 1976 winning the national championship. That's the last one. That's something that we're striving for, and I think things go in circles, and again, you look back years and years ago, Alabama wasn't very good, and look where they are today. And that's something that, again, Pittsburgh is the same thing. We're gonna finish the circle there and get around to that. So we just continue to build and work on that championship season.
Great. We can slow our stride down just for a second. Very back of the room. Sir, if you'll please stand. Thank you.
Hey, thank you. Coach Bruce Marshall from Sports Byline USA. Really excited to see the opener and the backyard brawl coming back with West Virginia. That was a great rivalry for decades. Is this just a home and home with West Virginia, or is this going to be more than just a couple years with West Virginia?
We've got a 4-year deal with West Virginia right now, and I'm not sure if there was the other 4 years that's come through, EJ? So 8 of the next 11. So I knew we were working on the 4. I didn't want to spill the beans here today. So 8 of the next 11 years, we will be playing, West Virginia in the backyard brawl. And I think we just redid another 4 years with their athletic department. So it's something we're excited about. It's right down the road. It's a heck of a game. There's a lot of excitement in Pittsburgh for September 1st.
Coach, thank you very much. You can switch places with Deslin, and we will get our redshirt senior D lineman up here for a couple of minutes. Folks, again, even though you may have introduced yourselves to our head coach, please reintroduce yourself to our student athletes. We will start first row, Deslin, right in front of you to your left.
Dan Tortora, wakeupcalldt.com. Deslin, coming off of that ACC championship and making it to a big-time bowl game, just what you can say about building off of the success of last season and what this Pitt team, in your opinion, looks like in 2022.
Yeah, last year was a great year. We were really happy what we did last year, but we're focused on this year now. Focus on doing everything, all the little things right to make sure we can replicate and have a better year than we did last year. So our team's been working really hard, not really focused on what we did last year because last year is last year and trying to do what we do this year.
Deslin, your next question, fourth row, still on your left.
Hey Des, John Eads with Orange Fizz. On that note of last year, I remember asking you how you guys plan to replace all the production from defensive line in 2020. You did that in a big way. Now what's the next step for this defense and for your position group this year?
Yeah, we're just up the level, up the bar. Continue to work hard every day, continue to make plays and be a dominant defense.
Deslin, your question from the podium here, why did you not play football until your junior year in high school?
Because football was never a sport that was introduced to me. I played basketball starting at 7th grade, and then my high school basketball coach, Javon Glenn, got the head football coach, and then he told me to come over. There's a lot of great opportunities, and I fell in love with it ever since.
Thank you. We'll hustle the microphone to your right in the second row.
Hey, Deslin, Corey Christen, DK Pittsburgh Sports. The defensive line, obviously, you got a returning All-American, really strong unit on that team. Where do you guys feel at with the confidence level heading into this season, knowing that right off the bat, West Virginia, Tennessee, 2 really big games coming up?
We continue to work hard. We never look back on what we did last year. We really just want to keep setting the bar higher and higher, and never just sitting there and feeling happy with what we did. We always want more. We continue just to push the bar a lot higher and do a lot better than we did the year previously.
Deslin, from the podium, you turned 24 last month. Does anyone on the team call you Grandpa?
Yeah, a lot of guys call me old head. I'm one of the oldest guys on the team, so I'm proud of that. There's a lot of leadership and things that comes with that, so that's a great role to be in because I played a lot of football.
What are you teaching the younger kids as the old man?
Just a lot of little things, showing up on time, paying attention to little details, because little details, a lot of people don't think, but the little details are what matters the most when it comes into winning and losing games.
Thank you. We'll go back left side, third row.
Bob Holliday, WRL.com. You had one of the ACC's better defenses last year, but there were some games where you gave up long passes and points. I know you want to focus on this year, so my question would be, what do you feel like you can do better this year? What are some areas where you want to improve?
We could do better just like, staying together, certain times when things aren't going as well. Just really just focusing on the little details. And a lot of things that, that didn't went well was just a minor fix. Just focusing on that minor fix as a team and fixing that and doing better this year.
Deslin, another question from the podium. You and your crew are very service-oriented. What inspires you to get so involved in the community?
Just because, I feel that us together as a team are really blessed, and to be blessed, I think is like for one, it's also important to give back. To get it's important to me, it's important to our team. Just to give back to the community and do good works out there.
So your last question, I've noticed that the terms responsibility and leadership, they mean a great deal to you. Define each of those words.
Leadership, just to be able to be at a position where a lot of young guys look up to you, and there's a lot of responsibility that comes within that. A lot of responsibility to come to the kids, the younger guys, showing them what to do because they look up to everything you do, and showing them the way to get to the position you are in.
Deslin, thank you. Servassier, you're up next.
Thank you.
It's the first round of applause we've had from one student athlete to another, so well done. First row to your left is our first one.
Dan Tortora, wakeupcalldt.com. How you doing, Servassier?
I'm well. How are you?
Good. So looking at this journey for you from Christian Brothers Academy, Central and Upstate New York, to going to prep school in New Jersey and working out that recruitment and the opportunity to be at Pitt, when you look back on that journey and now you're standing up there as an ACC champion looking to get more, just what you can say about the road to where you stand on that stage.
It was a wild journey, I would say, especially now that I'm a linebacker, being in that position or coming from those schools. I was a quarterback or receiver, running back, whatever, anything. So just being on that journey and, the recruiting in that area isn't the best. So, just being on that journey and being an ACC champion, it means a lot, not just to me, but definitely that area in Syracuse.
Servassier, from the podium, you're a law, criminal justice, and society major. What drew your interest to this?
So I first found out to become a sports agent, you have to be a lawyer. So you have to take that route, and that's what I decided to do. So after this football stuff is done, if I don't, go into coaching, like this guy right here, sports agent sounds like the best idea for me.
That works. So left side, almost back towards the wall.
Candace Cooper here, Locked On ACC. What have you seen from your teammates this offseason and maybe from yourself that gives you confidence you're going to repeat as champions?
Definitely the attention to detail. These guys seen that last year, if we pay attention to the little things, we could be, good, great, whatever. So this year, we really focused on the details. We really thought if we buy in now in the off season, that later in the year, we will be where we want to be, whether that's ACC champs or, in the college football playoffs. Last year we were 7 points away, and we think this year that 7, we're not worried about that 7. We're going to get it.
Stay on the left-hand side of the room, third row.
Bob Holliday, WRL.com. You're not the biggest guy in this defense, but you are the leading tackler and one of the top tacklers in the ACC. Given the fact that the offense is a little bit newer and you guys are more experienced, do you feel the urgency to keep scores low in the early, especially early in the season?
Say that again, I'm sorry.
Given the fact that the offense is newer and you guys are very experienced, do you feel like this is going to be a year where the defense needs to keep opponents from scoring more than in the past?
Yeah, that's always the goal. Being a defender is to stop the other team from scoring. The best idea is, to keep them to 0 points. But this year, yes, definitely, we want to be that defense that is a part of the elite group in the country. And if we can do that, I think amazing things will happen.
Still on the left side, there in the fourth row at the edge.
Hey, Savassi, Matt Bonaparte, Locked On Syracuse. You're from Syracuse. You went to Christian Brothers Academy. Syracuse didn't really recruit you all that much coming out of high school. Do you take that energy with you when you play the Orange?
Not necessarily. I approach every game as, I do any other game, and that's focus on what I could do to help the team, focus on how to win the game and my assignment, and we go from there. I'm not really worried about, the schools that didn't offer me, that didn't look at me or recruited me. I'm not worried about that.
We're going to hustle the microphone back to Dan in the first row to your left.
Servassier, so you're smiling up there. You have a positive attitude. You always bring a lot of positive energy. What does Pat Narduzzi do for this team to bring the positivity? And is there something about him you can share with us that maybe we don't know?
Nah, he brings the juice every day. Sometimes guys don't want to be there, and that's just football. Sometimes it's rough days, sometimes it's, hard days. And the energy starts with him. It starts with him, the juice starts with him, and then, we take that from him and disperse it to the team. So Coach Narduzzi, he's a player's coach. Everyone loves him. Everyone, we're behind him. The city's behind him, and, he's there for us. So anytime you have a coach like that, anytime you have a coach that, loves you, coaches for you, is there for you in the city, it's the best of both worlds.
Left side, fourth row.
Servassier, John Eads with Orange Fizz. You had one of the best linebacker rooms in the ACC last year. A lot of those guys have since moved on. What have you done this offseason to step up to not only replace that production, but emerge as a leader in that position group?
Yes, we definitely had a lot of production in our linebacker room last year, and we're looking to, if not match it, definitely, raise the bar. So we've added a lot of talent to the room. We've taught a lot of young guys the roles that they needed to play. And, they just bought in. Like I said earlier, you buy in, a lot of things can happen. So we got a lot of guys that's an addition to the team and the linebacker room, and they're ready to go. Smart guys, too.
Servassier, last question from the podium. Why a turnover hoop? Where'd that come from?
Actually, our defensive coordinator brought that. He loves Jordans. So, airman, air jump, he loves the idea of dunking. So, and he can't dunk. He's about, 5'7"? So, Coach Bates, he loves the idea of, dunking a football in a basketball hoop.
Did you donate it to baseball for their season, or was it just a loaner?
Definitely. So we donated to the baseball team, and if they hit a home run, they usually dunk the ball. And that, since, we did a so well job this year dunking the ball, and we beat the hoop up pretty bad, so we had to donate it, and they got their fair run of it.
Servassier, thank you. You can switch up with Carter.
You.
We'll spend our last few minutes with Carter Warren, redshirt senior, offensive tackle, and your first two questions will come from the right side. Carter, about midway again to the right.
Cool. How you doing, man?
What's going on? Joe Marino, Draft Network. Carter, Coach mentioned you had the opportunity to go to the Senior Bowl last year, and you're coming off of a great season. A lot of tough tests against a lot of good pass rushers in the ACC. What is 2022 going to be about for you, and what more are you looking to prove?
Honestly, I just want to show everybody that we can run the ball. Personally, with the offense we had prior, we were primarily passing the ball, but I just want to show people that I could be physical, I could be dominant on the field when we're running that ball. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
Going to go second row to your right.
Hey, Carter, Corey Chris at DK Pittsburgh Sports. Going along with that about running the ball and going to be able to do that more, your entire offensive line unit is full of seniors, big dudes, old dudes, ready to go with that. Tell me about what value that means to you to be able to go forward and do that this year.
Oh, it's huge, man. I got a great group of guys, we just came together and we just sat down, really talked it out, and we wanted to come back, and make a difference on this team, and have another great year. So we're all best friends, and I love my boys, so yeah, but big things this year for us.
Left side, follow the aisle.
Matt Bonaparte, Locked On Syracuse. This is your 6th year in the program. You've seen a lot of ACC talent come and go. What team do you think will offer the biggest challenge in terms of a pass rush this season?
Overall this season, I would say Tennessee. They got a great group. I feel like last year I held my own, I did my thing, but I know they're going to come back this year. ready to go. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing them play.
A little bit further on your left, second row.
Hey, Carter, Stever from the Associated Press. Coach talked about the battle at quarterback. What have you noticed about those two guys who are competing for that job, as compared to Kenny, who was Player of the Year?
For sure, they're both great guys, both great quarterbacks. I feel like both of them compete at this level, and it's going to come down to who wants it more, who's going to give it all they got, and it's going to be good for the team. So we'll see, man. I have no idea.
To your right, dead center.
I'm Katrina Sacco, Sports and Culture Media. You are a redshirt senior, and without Kenny this season, how are you looking to fill in those leadership roles on offense?
On offense, I have myself. We got Jared Wayne and a couple other guys, that's really stepping up and taking that spot from Kenny Pickett. This team needs leadership, and we have it, and I feel like it's going to be a big year for us in that aspect.
We're going to hustle the microphone back to the fourth row, Nick. Fourth row, gentleman in the striped short sleeve shirt.
Thanks. Hey, Carter. John Eads with Orange Fizz. Took down Tennessee last year. You got them once again this season. I'm curious how you think you guys stack up against SEC competition. And to get to the college football playoff, which is your next goal, like you guys said, do you think you have the talent to compete there and get there?
Oh, 100%. We definitely have the talent. I feel like Coach Deuce is harping on running that ball. I feel like if we do that, man, we can go all the way, man. So no doubt about it.
Right in front of you to your left, first row.
Dan Tortora, wakeupcalldt.com. First game on the schedule, West Virginia. Have you looked into that history and the rivalry that used to be there throughout time, and does that mean anything to you at Pitt as you carry that forward?
Oh, definitely. The backyard brawl dates back years ago, before my time. There's huge history behind it. And, man, I'm excited, all the trash talking I'm hearing, I hear throwing beer bottles at the bus coming in. So I'm curious to see, man. I'm very excited when the game comes. So, yeah, very curious.
Left side, third row.
Bob Holliday, WRL.com. You talked about wanting to run the ball. Of course, you were just 10th in the league last year. Israel Abanikanda returns. How would you describe him as a running back, and how much deeper is your running back room this year?
Oh, he's phenomenal. He's a great running back. The whole room itself, we got Rodney Hammond as well, those two together, Vincent Davis. We got some great guys that can really run that ball. So, we open some lanes for them. Man, sky's the limit for us.
Well, Carter, congratulations. During our first day and a half, you're the offensive lineman that's gotten the most questions. So
really, man, I appreciate y'all, man. Yeah, let's do it.
Folks, that is Pitt. Coach, players, good luck this season.
Thank you.
Folks, Virginia is due up next at high noon, 15 minutes with the coach, then once again 5 minutes with our student athletes.